Hey everyone, welcome back to sgCarMart Reviews, and today we are driving the all-new second generation Opel Mokka. So the Mokka is actually the baby of Opel's SUV family, and this second generation model has been thoroughly overhauled. Obviously it looks very different from before, but this car actually also sits on a new platform because the brand has undergone an ownership change. One more thing, the car actually has a slightly different name now. So previously it was called the Opel Mokka X, but Opel has decided to drop the X, so now it's very simply just the Opel Mokka. A big change with the Mokka obviously is the way it looks. So this is what Opel calls its bold and pure design, and it's headlined by this Opel visor. So it's this little, not so little panel that connects both the headlights, and it forms this nice seamless single piece at the front, and I think it really contributes to the car's whole angular and sharp look. And you know, I think it's a good looking car. It looks interesting, it looks different, and it looks a lot better than the Opel Mokka that came before this. So now if we go check out the back, again at the rear we have details that are crisp, angular and slim. So for example, the tail lights, even like the font here, it's kind of funky, kind of cool. And I think that really adds to the overall sense of improvement with the car's design, you know. I think with this one, it looks modern, it looks fresh, it looks interesting, and I must say, a real big step up from the previous generation model that I think most people agree was far from pretty. Now if we go check out the boot, with a slightly awkwardly located boot release button. Here we have a 350 litre boot. It's okay size, it's not huge, but you know, it's not a huge car. We can fit one big luggage, and the anti-trolley will fit sideways, but obviously not lengthways. The Opel Mokka is priced at $126,500. The 1.2 litre turbocharged engine produces 129 brake horsepower and 230 Nm of torque. The 8-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 9.2 seconds. For more details on the Opel Mokka or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. Here in the rear cabin of the Mokka, space-wise, it's kind of what you expect from a car in this segment, right? I think you can sit reasonably comfortably. It doesn't feel super squeezy, but you know, if you have big passengers, then yeah, they're gonna feel the squeeze slightly. One slightly weird thing is the fact that if you look here, there's actually kind of a decent amount of headroom here, but because of the way the roof slopes and there's this little hump, do you call this a hump? This little hump here. If I slide on over to the middle seat, yes, there's a transmission tunnel hump, so obviously you have to put your feet on either side. I would say actually surprisingly the middle seat is wider than I expected, so I think you will fit 2 people easily. You could fit 3 adults at a slight squeeze, but yeah, you know, overall I think this is kind of what you expect from a small SUV, right? In terms of amenities, we have 2 slightly old school USB-A ports, and we have some ISOFIX points, and yeah, that's about it. Now let's slide on over to the front. So one key addition with this new Mokka is this pure panel. So basically what it is, it's 2 screens integrated within a single unit, right? And I think it looks nice, and I actually think it makes the car feel a little bit more upmarket because you're starting to see a lot of more expensive cars also use this like 2 screen, 1 surface setup, right? And it's also quite functional, you know. So we have a digital dash that you can actually change the display to see things like a navigation map, your driving information, and you can even have a minimum view where it's just your speed, that's it, right? And also we have an infotainment system that supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So another key change that I like actually is that Opel has gotten rid of your typical sort of gear shifter stick, and instead now we have this like rocker switch thing. And I mean, functionally it works, right? But I think the key thing that I like is the fact that because you don't have an additional stick here, it actually makes the cabin feel a little bit more spacious, and I think that's very important in a car that's, you know, this small. What else in terms of equipment? We have 1 USB-A port. We do not have a wireless charging pad, which is kind of a waste. Instead, we just have a shark here. So actually, this shark is an Easter egg that Opel hides in all of its different cars. And yeah, you know, I mean, beyond that, it's a fairly sort of functional cabin that I will admit looks kind of nice. The engine start-stop button is not the most responsive, so you kind of have to press and hold to start and stop the car. If you just like push it very briefly, nothing happens. So yeah, that's something to take note. So yeah, let's go drive this car now. Powering the Mokka is a 1.2-litre turbocharged engine, and it produces 129 brake horsepower and 230 Nm of torque. These are modest numbers for sure, but then again, this is a relatively small and light car. So I think for daily sort of going to work, coming back, it's very usable, this engine. The upside of this engine, of course, is the fact that it is actually pretty efficient. Opel quotes a fairly optimistic like 19.6 km per litre, and you're probably not going to get that, but having driven this car for 2 days, I'm doing 15 km per litre, which I think is pretty reasonable. As far as the overall ride quality, I think it's slightly on the firm side, but it's still pretty comfortable. And because the car is it's a small car, it is very easy placed on the road, the footprint is very small, and it's just a very easy car to drive. So actually, one thing I do like about this car is the fact that we have this overhead camera thing. And while, I mean, is it absolutely necessary? No, this is quite a small car. It's not hard to park, but I think it's quite useful for just making sure you're like in the middle of the lot and you're like, you know, lined up nice and straight. And I think it's just a nice, handy feature to have. So, the new Opel Mokka, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? For me, this is a go try because I think for its 140,000 price point, this car is sort of priced to market, right? This is the kind of money you are looking at when you're shopping in this particular segment. So I think for the money, you do get a good amount of car. In terms of overall like quality, equipment, this is sort of what you expect in the market. So it's not going to wow you with equipment, but at the same time, it's not going to disappoint you with equipment as well. Where I think the Mokka sets itself apart is really the design, right? It's the way it looks. And I must say, I do like how the car looks. It's got like a youthful character to it, and I think it adds a sense of personality to the car, and personality is not typically a big trait in this particular segment. So if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, I think this Mokka is worth checking out. With this car, it really comes down to whether you like how it looks, because I think that's a big part of its sort of appeal. So yeah, you know, if you want something that's a little bit bold, a little bit different, then go check out this Mokka. Alright, so that's our review of the new Opel Mokka. Let us know what you think about the car in the comment section below. And of course, also like, share and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be alerted of our upcoming videos. Also, follow us on TikTok. There's stuff happening on TikTok. I'm a little bit too old for that, but TikTok. Yeah, so till the next video, catch you soon. Bye! This car, right? So for example, even the slim headlights and tail lights. Yeah. That's about it. That's about it. What else can I say? Nothing. Yep, that's about it.